Guys, welcome back to Glam Finds, and I'm here with another Middle Eastern fragrance review. This one is a clone from the house of Alhambra under the umbrella of Lattafa. It's Alhambra Tabac. Okay, so as you can tell by looking at this, this is obviously a clone of Dior's Tobacolor, which I don't own. I have smelled when I was in New York, so I can give you an idea of how I think they compare, but I cannot give you an idea of how I think they compare in terms of performance because I never gave that one a full wearing on skin or anything like that. But aside from that, let's actually just talk about how Tabac smells, because to me that's a little bit more important anyways. So I told you when I did my first impressions of this that it was just a nose full of honey. And you still get the honey here, but as it starts to dry down, and I just mean just a few minutes, the honey starts kind of taking a break. It's still there, but it lets the other notes kind of come out a little, and you're gonna get the tobacco and tobacco leaf and white tobacco, which I feel like smells a little bit different than the other two, and I actually feel like I like that note, and I personally do find it to be present here. Now, in case you are wondering, white tobacco is actually a floral note, and I think that the way that it's blended in this fragrance is really nice. You also get the incense in here. Notes, as per Trouble Traders, say that you're gonna get honey, tobacco, amber, and peach. I don't really get I think you're gonna smell that kind of fruitiness, but it's really in the background. I think it could be more prevalent if there was less honey. To me, there's a lot of honey in this. And even when it starts to dry down, you're gonna get more like the amber, the tobacco notes, the tobacco leaf. And for me specifically, I think it stays pretty sweet. Do I like it? Yeah, I actually still have a clone of Tobacolor that I've had for a while now, and that one has been a really easy wear in colder weather. So I wanted to see if this was gonna be kind of in that same ballpark, and they're in the same ballpark. This is a little bit different. I don't think it's one-to-one with that one, but I think this is really wearable. And I think a lot of people, particularly people in the fragrance community, are gonna enjoy this one a lot. So let's talk about performance of this. It gives me more than a full workday. Typically it's gonna be from 8 to 10 hours on my skin. Sometimes a little bit longer, if I'm being completely honest. Projection, I get good projection, good sillage, good longevity. All three above average. I wouldn't call it beast mode, but I would also say, depending on where you're going, I would tone down the sprays. I think I did 3. I've done 3 and I've done 4, and both were okay. I don't feel like either one was too much, but I definitely feel like there was pretty good sillage and projection off of that for a pretty good while as well. And again, longevity is really good. I got well over 8 hours, typically closer to 9 to 10 hours. Which I think that that's pretty good. Now that's on my skin. I like to say that because a lot of you guys are gonna come out and say you got an hour. I don't get an hour, I get over 8 hours. It's not blazing off of my skin the entire time. I think the projection and sillage is better in the first couple of hours, but it stays pretty solid in the remaining hours, and I think it's closer to a skin scent around the 6-hour mark for me, if that. So in terms of who can wear it, I would find this to be very unisex, and I don't feel like there's any age for it either. It is sweet. I don't think everyone's gonna think that this is really sweet, but for me, this is a little sweeter than I typically go for. It's the honey. I don't love honey as a note in fragrances, so this isn't really gonna, run to the top of my list. Tobacolor also wasn't my favorite. I like Tobacolor and the Tobacolor DNA because, and we're gonna skip around here, it does get compliments, and the clone that I have of Tobacolor already, which is actually from the House of Dapper, that one's always gotten me compliments, but to be completely honest, that one does project a little bit better than this one. So that DNA is gonna be compliment getting, but I will also say this, I've worn this a good handful of times, and this particular one, hasn't really got me any compliments, I don't think. Yeah, at least not that I can recall. It could be the environment though. I feel like it's not always gonna be something that pulls compliments. It always depends on where you're at, who's around you, that sort of thing. But in terms of seasons, definitely only fall and winter. I would really never reach for this in spring or summer unless it's one of those really cold spring evenings. But even summer nights, I'm not gonna reach for this. I think it would be really cloying. In terms of occasions, I mean, this one's really easy to dress up. I wouldn't necessarily wear it particularly casually. You could, but I wouldn't. I think it's like a nice date night fragrance. I can't imagine too many people disliking it. I think it's got like kind of a flirty undertone, but to be honest, I'd wear it formally as well. So I think occasion-wise, it's not going to be completely versatile, but when it comes to colder weather, there are a lot of places you could wear it. But again, not really anything I'm going to dress down too much. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is price. This one, when I got it, was under $20. Now, the price does fluctuate because this one has got Alhambra Tabac, so I think it's a little bit more now. I'm going to link it down below wherever I can find it. I think Fragrance By had them recently. Now, by the time I edit and post this, they may be sold out again, but as you guys know, if you just put yourself down for an alert, they email you as soon as whatever it is comes back in stock. The difference is sometimes it comes back in stock and it's a different price, because a Rouge clone from Armaf, the Club de Nuit Untold, that one came back and it didn't like go through the roof, but it went from $50 to $60. So clearly the hype has a lot to do with how much it's gonna be selling for. Now this one, I don't know what it's at right now, but again, I'm gonna link it down below. If it's high, if you wait till spring, there's a pretty big chance the price will go down and it'll be easier to get in stock. A lot of times I buy my stuff I buy my cold weather scents during the summer, and I buy my warm weather scents during the winter if I can, if it's not like a new release or anything like that, because typically you're gonna get them cheaper and they're always in stock. So I literally just bought a ton of warm weather fragrances. First of all, because I love them, but also because they are really cheap and the price goes up a little bit as summer comes around. So I got a bunch of cheapies that they're gonna be pretty moderately priced, I imagine, during the summer, but I'll wear them now anyways. I really don't care that much. I'm all about freshies. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. My review of this fragrance is, I think a lot of you guys are gonna like it. For me, I really do like it, but it's not something that I'm gonna reach for often. I do feel like once the honey tames and you're in the tobacco, white tobacco kind of genre, it does smell really good, really classy, really elegant. It's just not my style of fragrance. You guys know I'm more into the versatile stuff, and sometimes when I wear fragrances that are heavier and they stay on my skin and I'm in bed, I don't like them. I feel like I have to wash it off because I don't know what it is, but the moment I try to go to sleep, if something that's like a little bit too thick is on my skin, I'm not a big fan. If you've tried this fragrance, let me know down below. I imagine most people are gonna probably love this fragrance. Again, it performs, it smells good, and it's really inexpensive, easy to dress up. Comment down below, let people know what you think. As always, remember to like this video if you liked it, be subscribed to my channel, hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop another video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.